So, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics Podcast. With it, another episode featuring, it's probably going to be a book summary, because I do not once again want to go through some Reddit things. I feel like it is good, it is great, it is whatever, but it doesn't necessarily always have to be the case, So, let's have a look. Let's have a look at things. Let's do some shit. And yet again, 10 trillion flies in my hood. It's amazing, I love it. Let's have a look at the Derek Siver. Derek Siver, I think it is written like this. It should be fine, should be good, it should be okay. Because rather often we can see some actually very new book notes. It's not necessarily summaries, or per se it is not summaries. And let's see what the newest are. Awaken the Giant Within. That's actually pretty odd because it is a very old one. The Socrates Express. 4 out of 10. Well, maybe let's not go through this one. The Courage to Be Happy. This sounds Be warned, the format is strange, a dialogue between an angry youth and calm philosopher. You can skim over what the youth says, since it's just angry objections. Essays and aphorisms by Arthur Schopenhauer, classic philosophy. The Minimalist Entrepreneur. Actually, a lot of very great things. I think The Courage to Be Happy is going to be what we're going through today. Why not Tony Robbins? Well, I don't know. I think that I've already gone through this book before. It's probably been a few months, maybe even a year or something, but I think that might be good to go through something else. Let's have a look. It's, by the way, actually always pretty great to have yourself in your ears. For whatever reason, I actually never ever liked it. It also depends on what headphones I'm using. Using these ones, having in-ears, it's a bit stranger. But I also really notice when something is off with... Can I please? Thank you. With the audio. And if I should be closer, if I should be just more away. And also having the background noise. It's amazing to hear that. So for all the people being on a stream, I'm actually quite sorry. It is rather shit. But anyway, the first episode of The Courage to Be Happy by Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. Probably mispronounced that quite a bit, but it is okay. I'm actually really loud in my own ears. Anyway, the sequel to The Great Courage to Be Disliked, the philosophy of Alfred Adler. Is it actually? On education, self-reliance, coming to terms with your past, focusing on solutions instead of problems, and active loving. Be warned, the format is strange, and the rest I've already said. The truth lens, like eyeglass lenses, many people's vision has improved by this lens, but some find their vision has become even cloudier than before. You cannot be happy staying where you are. You have to keep walking along the path. That's actually quite the case. Expecting to be happy with, you are at a place where you're not happy, and expecting that you at some point gonna be happy just staying there and waiting. I don't know if this is smart. I don't know if this is just sensical as well. On the other hand, things just change around us. So to some degree, it might actually kind of make sense. But I don't know. Does this make sense to do it like this? No, I think it doesn't. Philosophy and religion both deal with human ideas of truth, good, and beauty. The difference is story. Philosophy rejects stories. Might actually not only be like about metaphors and analogies and, just as he says, or they say, using stories to get a point across. But yeah. In the search for truth, stopping and jumping off midway is religion. Philosophy is to keep searching without end. Someone who claims to know everything, who has stopped in their path of knowing and thinking, regardless of their belief in the existence or non-existence of God, is venturing into religion. We cannot learn philosophy, we can only learn to philosophize. The objective of education is self-reliance, which actually is a pretty good goal, actually, a pretty good objection or objective. If this is the case, I don't really know. A lot of people, I think, feel lost, even though they probably have pretty good education and they they have learned a lot and they have seen a lot and they know a lot about whatever it might be about. But I don't know if this is enough to be self-reliant, I guess. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if this is enough. I think it is also a lot of personality, also your upbringing. To some degree, yes, in the early years of our life, education, or at least school, is a place to also be brought up and, just getting to know how to deal with other people, how to talk, what to say, what not to say, because we're spending so much time in these quote-unquote organizations, in these places, that inevitably this is the case. Inevitably we just get to know certain things, we get to understand certain things as well. But I think education per se may not actually be enough for self-reliance. Human knowledge can only be learned by actually being engaged in relationships with other people. Respect children. Respect is to see a person as they are, to be aware of their unique individuality. Don't try to change or manipulate the other person. Place value on them being that person without pushing your own value system on them. And then you can learn something about it. You can learn something about whether you like the way they are or you don't. Whether you also want to be like this or you don't. And by changing them, by making them the person you would like them to be, we probably don't learn anything, because it's just us, it's just who we are already. Respect is a ball that comes back to you only from the person to whom you pass it. Yes, but this unfortunately is something that some people do not really understand. I do not want to bring up, maybe let's call them certain institutions. It is not necessarily an institution, might be governmental, might not be governmental. But some people, when you're encountering them and they have to tell you what you've done wrong, sometimes they do it in a way that is just so disrespectful, especially when it is, I think especially when it is younger people. Often, I'm 21 now. I do understand that some people may not necessarily view me as a person that, that maybe knows a lot, or a person that they have to respect quite. I understand that. Of course, when somebody's older than you, you might think that this person knows more than you do. This person has experienced more than you did. There is some sensicality, if this is even a word, I don't know, behind that, yes, period. But still, when I'm doing a certain job, I need to fucking respect people, so that those people also respect me. And this boils down to how I talk to them, my tonality, probably also my gestures, my body language, and so on and so forth. And those people, they cannot expect to be respected if they themselves do not respect. It's probably the exact same thing with love most often. When you don't love, why would you expect love? Sometimes it still works, but just as a thought. Have more concern for other people's concerns. No matter what has occurred in your life until now, it has no bearing at all on how you live your life from now on. I think it is called sunk cost, if I remember that correctly. Just because I'm having a theater ticket doesn't mean if I for free can go to the cinema. When I have a theater ticket, and somebody comes up to me and is like, well, do you want to go to the cinema with me? And it is for free. And I actually like the cinema more than the theater, but I had to take the theater because of whatever reason, maybe just actually because it is cheaper. Why wouldn't I do the cinema? Even though I have bought those tickets, yes, if everything is fine, if I can go to the cinema, if this is legit, if it's not a scam or whatever, it is fine, it is okay. Why shouldn't I do it differently? It's called sunk cost as far as I know. You have to Google it, or you would have to Google it. Changing yourself means never again being who you've been until now. Sum up your past by saying, I have been through a lot, but I'm fine with it. Your entire past turns into good memories. Yes, because now it's fine. I'm okay with who I am. It's good that I am me and whatever. To justify myself now, quote unquote, that is far from ideal, you are painting your entire past the same shade of grey. You're trying to live in possibility. If I had the idea X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't have ended up this way. Yeah. It's always this, like, if I had taken the chance, maybe you would have died. Maybe something else very extreme would have happened. Who the fuck knows? Nobody knows. I don't know, you don't know, nobody knows. And so being like, I should have done this, I should have done that. No, not really. It is fine how things are. The past does not exist. Your now decides the past. And with that being said, I'm willing to end the episode here. I wish you the best and hopefully see you soon. So, bye bye.